Hello, welcome to another Emma Ravensmore. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about my thoughts about tarot. I'm going to talk a little bit about what I feel about them personally, but that doesn't mean that anybody else who does anything is wrong. It's just how I feel personally about them. And a little bit about some of the misconceptions that you get and some of the things that seem to be wrong. I have got some notes that I'm using. I would like to just say that it is about my own personal thoughts on tarot though. Everybody reads tarot slightly differently. Everybody does things slightly differently. A great reader who I follow on YouTube says that it's like a dance. The music starts and then people start to dance, but people dance differently. They dance with their own style, their own way of doing it. And that's a little bit like tarot reading as well. You do it with your own style. Some people are very logical and are very forthright and very down to earth. Some people are very sort of mystical. They're the typical flowing robes and the mysticism side of things. So everybody does it differently. They have their own style, their own way of doing things. For example, with the cards that I use, I'll take some of the top ones off because I saved these to explain about something. But some people flick them. I can't do that, and I think it damages the cards as well, so I don't do that. Some people flick them, some people spread them out and like whoosh them all up and everything. But I tend to just shuffle them sort of the traditional way, like this. And I keep shuffling the deck until it feels right. And when I'm doing a reading for somebody, I talk to them while I'm shuffling, and I get to find out what it is that they are wanting to know about. I find out what it is they're wanting to know, and it just feels right after a while. Just that is the time to stop. I cut the deck and then I take from the top. I do get the person, before I start shuffling, I do get the person just to lay their hands on, just to put their energy into the deck of cards that I'm using. But then I just pull them out. I don't put them into separate piles and take from the separate piles. I just take them from this. If I have got a spread, for example, something like that, and I need a clarifier, I need a clarification on one of the cards, like one of the advice cards that needs clarification, I will then shuffle the cards again looking for clarification and wait till I've got the right card, and then I'll take the card out as a clarification card. So everybody does it differently though. A lot of readers will put them into 3 piles and take from different piles, and there are other readers that give them to their client to shuffle. I don't do that because it's not their intuition that I'm using, it's my own intuition that I'm using. So therefore I can't do it with them shuffling. I have to be the one that's shuffling. I'm talking to them, I've got eye contact with them, and I'm using my own intuition, so I deal with the cards. They can put their energy into it, but I'm using my intuition, so I shuffle the cards. I don't let my client shuffle my cards. So I'm the one that shuffles my cards. Also, I keep my cards in a little wooden box. People keep things in lots of different little things. You don't have to, just you can keep them where you want to. Some people keep them in black silk, like this. Again, no right or wrong. It's just you yourself. Vincent Patisky, who I was mentioning earlier, I do hope I pronounced that right. He uses, he cuts a pocket out of his jeans and he uses like a denim pocket, which is so cool. So he uses that to keep his cards in. Wherever you want to keep your cards is fine. But everybody, I'm just saying really, everybody is different. Every card reader is different. There'll probably be readers saying, oh no, she shouldn't be doing that, or oh no, I don't do that, or oh no, you've got to do it this way. Well, that's great if that works for them. That's how they do it. That's how they want to do it. But it just doesn't work for everybody. Everybody has to do it their own way. They dance their own way. They dance to their own style. They do it in their own way. Something as well I like to mention to people before I give them a reading is that I like to get feedback. Some some people think, oh, I shouldn't really be, she's going to try get information from me. She's going to see like the way I'm dressed, and she's going to see what I say to stuff, and she's going to find the information out that way. Well, I can't do that. I'm really bad at that, and it's not something like it's too much trouble. I'm not trying to wheedle information out of anybody. I'm just trying to understand the cards. This is where I was talking. For example, I once had a lady come to me. You can't see that there, can you? I'll show them. And these two cards came up. We have got the 10 of Wands and the 8 of Swords. These cards came up, but they were reversed, because I do reversed readings. Some people don't do reverse readings. I do reverse readings. Now my card shouldn't really come out reversed, because I showed you the way I shuffle, and I always shuffle like that, and I always make sure my cards are upright. But sometimes they come out reversed. So that's really weird. So when they come out reversed, I read them reversed, because there's obviously a reason they came out that way. And she had these, and just to put them upright for you, so they don't look very good. This guy is really, really overburdened, and this poor woman is trapped, basically. So saying she had so much on her plate. She's obviously coming out of something that she felt trapped in. She's coming out of it though, because they're reversed, but she felt trapped in it. She was overburdened. She had too much on her plate at the time to deal with. So I could have spent ages trying to work out the ins and outs of it all. But it was that she'd been in a really abusive relationship in the past, and she was just getting out of it, and that's what the cards indicated. Now, I could spend ages trying to work out what it is that she could just tell me straight away. That I can't, with tarot cards, they show you lots of pictures, but you can't be like massively precise. The people who are massively precise are probably using their psychic ability, although with tarot cards, obviously you are using your psychic ability, but they're probably doing psychic reading. You can't, for example, get names of people. You can't find out exact details. This is another one I had, another reverse one that I had. I had this card come out, which is Happy Family, but it was reversed. All the rest of the cards in the spread indicated they had a really happy family, but this one was reversed, and it was just saying to me, something has turned your world upside down. Something has happened. It's not a permanent damage that's going to wreck your family, but it is something that's just turned everything upside down at the moment. Something really bad has happened, and it's turned everything upside down. It had already happened, and she said, yeah, her father-in-law had just died 2 weeks previous. So that's what it was telling me. It was just saying everything had been turned upside down. Now, I could have tried to work out what it was. I mean, it could have been something like a divorce. People could have been splitting up. It could have been a massive accident. Somebody could have been diagnosed as critically. Something could have happened, but rather than me just try to work out what it is, if I get feedback whilst I'm reading the cards, it's so much more helpful. It really, really does make a difference. So, something else. Oh, of course, some people say, how do they work? They don't work. Tarot reading is silly. Well, you're going to get people saying that anyway, and if they don't believe it works, then they don't believe it works, and nothing that you say is going to make it work. And I can't say why it works. It just does. I've been reading cards for a really long time now. I've been reading for family and friends, and basically when I was reading them for family and friends, there's always that, oh yeah, but you know the situation, you know what's happening, you know the person, which is totally true. You do know the person, but it doesn't explain why it's still so very, very accurate. I was reading for a friend, relative of mine, and there were certain actions that she was taking that were very related to her past. Now, I didn't know her past was playing such an important part in what her thinking was. I didn't realise that this was playing on her mind so much as it was. And when I read the cards and I said, this aspect of your past is really playing on your present, it's really altering your thinking, it's really, really doing something about the way you're doing things now. It made her stop and think, and she actually did realise that was really impacting on her life, on her decisions and the choices that she was making as well, which really wasn't helpful. It wasn't good for her. And she took some actions to remedy that, and she's in a much better place now. So what I was saying is, sometimes you're going to believe they work, sometimes you're not going to think they work. I will go into a little bit more about why I think they work in another video, but I think this one has gone on a bit long now, so I will say goodbye for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, and please like and give me a thumbs up, share it, and come and see me on Facebook or Twitter, but I don't Twitter very much, but you can contact me that way. Like I said, I'm doing more Instagram as well, so you can contact me via Instagram if you want to, and leave some comments. Please leave some comments about what you feel, what you think, what you'd like to see in the future, and let me know what you think about it so far. I did have somebody mention to me that on my introduction video I looked a bit like a scared rabbit in the headlights of a car, so try not to do that anymore, and see you next week.